Want to play top 16 of a stacked tournament in Pokemon TCG Pocket? What if I told you a player running Butterfree managed to snag that spot? The supporting card can come in super clutch on the bench while trying to keep your active card alive. Behind every great frontliner is a strong supporter covering their mistakes as they refuse to stop diving the enemy team while pinging you for heal. Butterfree is a stage 2 card that has access to Powder Heal, an ability that heals your entire roster once per turn for 20 HP each. An extremely powerful ability, especially if you're combining heals with Potions, Erica, and Giant Bloom. This allowed cards like Venusaur to feel unkillable without being one shot altogether. Most of the time you'll see Butterfree paired with grass cards since it in itself is grass, but one player decided to think outside the box when Mythical Island dropped. The opening weekend of the sets saw the biggest pocket tournament to date with over 1,500 entrants, and ending up at the 13th place was a deck that had Butterfree in it, paired with a Gyarados EX. It was the only deck list in the entire bracket to pair Gyarados with Butterfree. Most players ran Gyarados with Greninja, a stage 2 card that uses Water Shuriken to apply pressure or finish off benched Pokemon. So how did this one player manage to break top 16 of this gigantic tournament using Water, Grass, and Dragon? Well, let's dive in and dissect, shall we? Most players running the Greninja version usually contain 2 of each core card, 2 Misty, 2 Druddigon, and 2 Leaf. However, the Butterfree deck ran just 1 of each evolution card for it, which opened up some space for 3 additional supporter and item cards. You don't need XP to retrieve Magikarp with the new Mythical Island version. At 1 energy cost, Leap Out gets them away from danger without losing any resources, a better card than the Splash version you can waste $500 on from a sketchy dude who called you Sweetie Pie. Once evolved, Gyarados' entire game plan revolves around getting 4 energy as fast as possible to start putting on the pain. To help him with that is Misty, Druddigon, and Butterfree. Misty has the capability to put on multiple energy in 1 turn. What's that? She flipped tails on the first coin toss? Don't worry, that's just her getting revenge for destroying her bike. The second Misty will hopefully do the trick. I mean, there's only a 25% chance to get 0 energy from 2 Misty uses, but you do always have to keep that in mind. Druddigon is the newest tank that has entered the meta, a card that can stall until Gyarados gets online. It needs 0 energy to deal pressure, as Rough Skin can retaliate 20 damage each time it's attacked. Once your carry is good to go, you can simply retreat Druddigon with Leaf, as this continues to save your precious energy. Now, how does Butterfree fit into this equation? Well, the funny thing is, a lot of your games won't even get Butterfree online. It's mostly reserved as an alternative stall tech if your starting basic happens to be Caterpie. You see, Caterpie only requires 1 colorless energy to use Find a Friend, which searches your deck for a grass card. There are only 3 grass cards in the deck, so if you manage to use this twice, you have the entire evolution line already, while also thinning out your deck to make it faster to get the cards you really need, similar to what a Meowth would do. Unless you bump into something like a Charmander or the new Ponyta, Caterpie will be able to take at least 1 hit before having to retreat, and in a meta filled with Druddigon hoping you'll attack it early game or Muse wasting genome hacking on it, Caterpie is just straight chillin' waiting for his homies to arrive. Once Butterfree is in play, let that sweet healing commence while you try to look for your win condition. The healing can come in clutch when trying to survive just 1 more of Celebi's coin flips after all. Next, let Rampaging Whirlpool rip with Gyarados, dealing an impressive 140 damage while also removing a random energy from either side. The less energy you have and the more your foe has will only increase the chance of them losing it instead of you. Druddigon never needs energy because of Leaf Retreat, and Caterpie's 1 retreat cost will delete the 1 energy already attached to it, which should leave only 4 energy on your side. As for the extra 3 cards, Giovanni can help one-shot Mewtwo, while Blue and Potion combined with Powder Heal can make you live even longer. Blue can also come in clutch to prevent your benched Magikarp from being one-shot by Hitmonlee or Zebstrika. Now, will this deck start giving you free first places at huge tournaments? No. Cards like Mewtwo and Pikachu aren't going anywhere this set, and there's a reason they found large amounts of success from many different players. However, don't let that stop you from experimenting. Even a support Butterfree can make a difference. I mean, who else is going to keep your teammates alive because they refuse to back up with a room temperature IQ? I mean, come on! The 2 meta decks for Pokemon TCG Pocket have been Pikachu and Mewtwo, but over the weekend, a 3rd deck has risen in tournament play, the Charizard deck. Moltres can help get Charizard online with energy while also tanking hits until it was time to one-shot every card in the game. This made it a pretty good matchup against Mewtwo. Moltres can take 3 Psychic Spheres or 1 Side Drive until it was time for Charizard to melt Mewtwo, and even if a second Mewtwo EX has Side Drive ready, Charizard can tank it, live, and retaliate with Crimson Storm to win the game. This is all well and good until Pikachu came up to bat. Enter Arcanine, Charizard's best friend. Arcanine EX has the ability to one-shot Pika as just a stage 1 evolution. Being tanky enough to survive Circle Circuit while also taking self-damage twice makes Arcanine an incredible answer to the rodent while Charizard handles Mewtwo. Here's the deck that every Charizard player in top 3 ran for the biggest tournaments last week. Oh, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. Nothing gets the adrenaline pumping like the most aggro deck in Pokemon TCG Pocket. What makes this deck so fun is how fast your cards can get online and start dealing damage. The stars of the show are Rapidash and Ninetales. Put Rapidash in the the front to start dealing 40 damage using 1 energy cost and sturdy 100 HP while you keep 9 tails on the bench to charge up its energy. Once Rapidash is hurt or knocked out, it's time to bring in the carry to start dishing out 90 damage with Flamethrower. This 40 plus 90 damage combo is already strong and is powerful enough to take out a majority of the basic and stage 1 non-EX cards of the game. By itself, this is already strong. What if you could make it deadlier? Enter Blaine, the Playmaker, cranking it up to a whopping 160 damage in just 2 turns, annihilating the entire roster unless they're a stage 2 EX card, and even then, the tankiest card in the game crumbles without healing due to its being super effective. Here's the exact deck that Sun used to pilot his way to victory at the FlyGen Cup number 3, so take inspiration and set the competition ablaze with Blaine. Sick of Gardevoir giving Mewtwo EX 150 damage every turn? Stop them before they come online. What makes Mewtwo EX such a powerful card consists of many factors. It doesn't require evolution and can be played right away, has the highest HP tied with Snorlax with 150 out of all the basics, can start dealing pressure as early as their second turn with Psychic Sphere, and pairs extremely well with Gardevoir to spam Side Drive. All this is oppressive, but it's Weezing's time to shine. Weezing is a stage 1 card that evolves from Coughing and only requires 1 energy to become a threat. By your second turn, you can poison with Gas Leak and follow up with Tackle, a dark move that deals 20 additional damage due to Psychic weakness for a total of 60 damage. This will cause your opponent to have to make a decision. Retreat Mewtwo EX to heal the poison or use Psychic Sphere at the cost of 2 additional poison checks for 20 additional damage. Weezing can shrug off Psychic Sphere due to its tankiness, giving you the option to either deal another 50 with Tackle or put Weezing and Coughing back into your hand with Koga. Pair Weezing with Arbok to corner Mewtwo EX or Gardevoir. Muck to do 120 damage off of Weezing's poison the same turn it's applied, or even leave Dark and pair with Alakazam, who can one-shot Mewtwo EX with 3 energy. Both Weezing and Alakazam require only one of their type's energy, so it's not the worst decision to go multi-type with them. So go out there and poison everyone until they get sick of Weezing. Water. Lightning. Fire. Psychic. Long ago, the 4 decks lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the grass type attacked. Grass decks in Pokemon TCG Pocket have always been in a weird spot. In early tournament play, we saw a couple of Venusaur and Exeggutor decks make top 4s and even get first place occasionally. Exeggutor made for a strong frontliner with only 1 energy cost and 80 potential damage while you try and get Venusaur online. With the combination of Erica, Potions, and Giant Bloom, Venusaur could live forever and was a huge threat late game. The biggest hurdle it ran into was Charizard, the only card in the game capable of one-shotting it and dismantling its entire late game survivability. Charmander could even one-shot Execute, making Grass struggle in both the early and late game. There was also a sudden rise of fire decks in tournaments, which made it even more inconsistent, and so grass decks were shelved to lie dormant, waiting for the one card that could bring it back to relevance. You see, the top 4 meta decks in Genetic Apex had something that grass didn't, a basic EX card. While Exeggutor EX was an incredible card, it did require stage 1 evolution. The beauty of basic cards in Pocket is that you only need 1 card. That's it. Even regular TCG needs ways to find energy cards, but Pocket gives you guaranteed energy every turn. This makes basics highly consistent and almost a requirement to help evolutions thrive. Fast forward almost 2 months later since global launch, and new cards were teased in the Mythical Island expansion, including 2 new basic EX cards. Mew was the one on everyone's mind as it could enhance the already powerful Psychic deck as well as flex into other types, but the only thing we knew about the other one was that it was Celebi, a grass type. Celebi EX is a card for those that love flipping coins, and I mean a lot of coins. It's a simple card with only 1 attack, Powerful Bloom, a 2 cost that flips a coin for each energy attached. Each heads deals 50 damage, so the more energy it has, the more damage it can dish out. Late game, this card can become problematic for its opponents as it only continues to get stronger as time goes on. You could pair this with low energy cost cards like Exeggutor EX or Beedrill so that you're not taking precious energy away from the carry. Lilligant could also be a frontliner as Leaf Energy would give an additional energy each turn as it attacks. Unfortunately, Venusaur pairs pretty poorly with Celebi EX due to its reliance upon energy. Both cards would end up cannibalizing each other since there's only so much to go around before the game ends. However, Mythical Island brought another grass card, one that was practically made to be paired with Celebi, the Gen 5 starter Superior. It's a stage 2 card with an incredible ability. Jungle Totem makes it so each grass energy attached to any of your grass Pokemon provides 2 grass energy instead. Basically, this doubles your energy. Celebi could be in the front line while you try to evolve your back line. Once Snivy has fully evolved into Superior, Celebi is now flipping double the amount of coins. Half or energy on Celebi? You're flipping 8 coins, each head's dealing 50 damage. That's over a 60% chance of one-shotting every card in the game and an 85% chance of dealing 150 damage. Celebi is a basic EX card that thrives off 4 energy applied and becomes almost unstoppable with a stage 2 bench. Never before seen in Pokemon TCG Pocket. When building this deck, it's important to have 2 of each core card to increase the chances of drawing superior evolutions in Celebi. Including a basic wall is also important. Options could range from Kangaskhan, Snorlax, or the new Tauros, but I would personally slot in Delmi since it also benefits from superior being on your bench. Add in 2 Ericas for insane healing potential, and that leaves you with 5 slots to play around with. Potion for additional healing, X speed for retreating, or Sabrina for stalling or finishing off a different card. Personally, I like filling it out nicely like this. Leaf could also be a good choice for retreating and exposed superior without losing energy, but being a supporter makes it difficult when you need to be spending Erica, Oak, or Sabrina instead to stay alive. And although Celebi's coin flips are great, they have a lot of tournaments coming up before it can change anything. But I believe Celebi can save the meta. Or ruin it, I don't know. In a game where Pikachu EX is dominating the meta both in matchmaking and in tournament, players are getting creative with how to deal with the electric rodent. The strength of Pikachu EX is the ability to come online in just 2 turns and start dealing up to 90 damage each swing, which can one-shot every basic card that needs to evolve. Enter Kangaskhan, a basic card that can fit into any deck you choose due to it being colorless. Kangaskhan can tank one of those hits and live due to their 100 HP, buying you an extra turn to get your benched card online. The only way they can bypass this on their second turn is using Giovanni to one-shot or Sabrina to bench Kangaskhan. The odds of your opponent having Pikachu EX with 2 energy, 3 benched electric, and one of these 2 trainer cards by their second turn is low and requires extreme luck. Dizzy Punch just needs 1 energy card to start applying pressure. It flips 2 coins with each heads, dealing 30 damage, with a good chance of it doing half of Pikachu EX's health before Kangaskhan gets knocked out, allowing you to bring in a Benchmon to finish it off. You even have a 6% chance of getting heads 4 times, dealing 120 damage over 2 turns and knocking out Pikachu EX altogether.